the Lawn Gnome, and welcome to your newest DCAU update. And today we're going to be talking about the newest offering in the DC Animated Universe direct-to-DVD film library. It is quite crazy to believe that we are going to be talking about the 31st film in this library. Yeah, the 31st film. Can you believe that we have been watching these movies for just a little over an entire decade? And we're going to be talking about Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. Also, this is a little bit of a sad note because this also marks the departing of pretty much someone that had been on these projects all the way back until Batman the Animated Series, and that, of course, is Alan Burnett. He produced this film, he wrote the story for this film, he has officially announced his retirement, so I wish him well, and I was so thankful for him, and Bruce Timm, of course, as well as another person who recently left us, Andrea Romano, for giving us so many amazing things from DC to enjoy in the wonderful world of animation. The Suicide Squad is back, a couple of old faces, a couple of new faces. We actually haven't seen Suicide Squad show their faces in animation since Assault on Arkham, which of course is a fun film. And like that, this one is also a fun film. It is definitely not for children. This is a rated R film. I'm really impressed to see that there's so many rated R films in this library showing up, and we definitely have come a decent way from Batman the Killing Joke. And this movie also pays tribute to the Grindhouse films of the 1970s. This is heavily bloody and very gratuitous. There is definitely stuff that you don't want children to see. However, I am going to say, as much as it pains me, because, you know, Alan Burnett is going away, this is definitely not the strongest film in the DCAU library. It is fun, don't get me wrong, there's definitely some great things in this movie, and we'll discuss those, but there's definitely a lot more misses than hits. The first thing that I have to say that is just not great about this movie is the story. The plot is just not interesting to me. I mean, we all know who the Suicide Squad is, we also know what the Suicide Squad does, but in terms of the actual mission and the story that's involved, it just really is not one of the stronger missions. Another major fallback for this film is the voicing. I mean, Andrea Romano's no longer with us. She actually hasn't been doing the voice casting since Justice League Gods and Monsters. That's after she left. And ever since then, we've gotten some good voice casts, but most of the time this new guy, Wes Gleason, has not really been giving us the strongest voice cast. And with Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, I think we really do see that the most, because there are some very big names in this film, like Vanessa Williams playing Amanda Waller, Christian Slater voicing Deadshot, even the great voice actress Tara Strong giving her voice to Harley Quinn. These voices just don't match with these characters at all, and because of the fact that you don't get great voice acting, you really don't get any sympathy, you don't really connect with the characters, even though there are some really strong moments with Deadshot. Just because of the fact that that's Christian Slater voicing him, I just don't see a good fit. And it pains me to say something like that even more because Tara Strong is without a doubt one of the greatest voice actresses of the last 20 years. And her voicing Harley Quinn was such a misstep. It was a terrible voice. She is not enjoyable in this movie. She is just flat out annoying. And she even makes Melissa Rauch, who voiced Harley Quinn in Batman and Harley Quinn, so much more tolerable and better, and that's a horrible, horrible thing to say, but I did not enjoy Harley Quinn at all in this movie. She was just not interesting and just not fun. However, there are some very strong points, and one of the strongest points is the fact that this is really a nice little tip to the DC fans. There are so many great villains in this story. There's even some interesting hero appearances that you probably never would have seen coming, and it's definitely interesting to see some of those moments actually happen. Also, when more villains start showing up, it starts to get a little bit more interesting in terms of the plot, because it starts to veer off in different directions, because there are different groups of villains with different motivations and different ideas for the main focus of the story, basically what the Suicide Squad is after. And that is where it takes an even more interesting twist, because one specific character returns, and that is the Reverse Flash, or Zoom, a character that we hadn't seen in such a long time, but what really impresses me is how he falls into this story and how we discover where this specific film falls in regards to the library as a whole. I actually have to say that that was my big WTF moment. I was shocked, I was impressed, I never would have imagined that it was actually going to go in that direction, but when it did, I had to say, wow. You may have been not really interesting me over the past couple of minutes with this film, but thanks to this little Shyamalan ding-dong twist, you really, really shocked me. And because of that, I will say that this movie is not the worst in the library. It is tolerable at best. There are some fun moments to be had, but I will definitely say that this is not one of the strongest films. I would still say that if you are a DC fan, why wouldn't you want to give this one a watch? Maybe you'll find something there that I missed. But yeah, you know something? I will own every single one of these films, good, bad, or indifferent, and still enjoy watching them numerous times. So that's my review on Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. I'm actually really excited for the next episode because it's going to be a very interesting film that is coming next on the horizon. It's dropping in August, and also because of the fact that it will be revolving around Superman, it's actually kind of a nice breath of fresh air because we haven't really gotten a Superman story from this library in quite some time. Also because of the fact that it is the 80th anniversary of the Man of Steel himself, you will be getting a couple of bonus episodes where I will be looking back at some of the older animated films in this library that do revolve around the Man of Steel, Superman himself. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below and let's discuss Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.